Flywheel bolts are M12s. Mark the bottom of it. This is the bottom. You'll mark the bottom so you can put it back up there directly the same. You'll have to pry the flywheel off of there from right to left. And oil leaking out of the back. Looks like the oil's coming from the back of it. Got a little bit up there on top. But mainly around here. Alright, so do the rear main, we gotta remove all these Torx bolts. The Torx bolts were T30s. Remove them. Pry this cover off. It's held on with silicone. And the rear main seal will be probably stuck to the back of the crank, just like this one was. Man, what a professional seal here, huh? Wow. All right, seal's out. Let it drain for a while. And you might have to drain the oil because it might be high. That might be why it keeps on dripping out. So anyway, you need to clean that surface up and get it all cleaned up and wipe off around the crank. Make sure there's no big ridge line or anything or varnish deposits. Get a fine sandpaper, emery cloth, go all around, clean it up, put some grease around your crank, put some silicone on there, and put your new seal and plate on there. But we might have to drain some oil out. When you're removing this lower control arm assembly, you get the trans out. There's this bracket right here for a wire harness. Plastic. It's got a 10 millimeter going in the top, going straight down into that bracket for the control arm. All right, after you clean this surface up, and you put some emery cloth on the side of your crankshaft a little bit, clean it up a little bit. Clean it all up with some brake clean. Don't be spraying it in there. Wipe it on there and then wipe the crank and then put a little bit of grease around the crank on the seal surface. And careful not to get any grease around on the block. So now put some silicone inside your little grooves on your oil seal housing. And don't cake it on too thick because you don't want to be pushing it towards the seal. So just put it inside that groove, nice 1/4 inch bead all the way around. And then get it up here and line it up with your tool that's on the seal. And then eyeball these 2 holes through here and just have 2 hands, one here and one there, and just push it on in one solid motion. Boom. Okay, and then get a couple bolts started. Get them all started, snug them up. Then you want to torque them to 10 foot-pounds. Okay? Then you want to let that dry. I mean, it'll probably be dry and cured before you put the trans in, but it should cure at least 24 hours. Okay, now that you got it torqued, it's all set. And that's it for your rear main seal. You might want to just put just a little bit of wheel bearing grease on this pilot bearing. Just a little bit, okay? Okay, put that cover back on now. If you took it off, I'm sure you did. Make sure you tuck it underneath here first, and then put them in your dowels. Okay, make sure they're both in and not twisted or anything. So now you can put your flywheel on. Okay, flywheel up there. Put a little bit of Loctite on your threads and your bolts. Get them all started, snug them up, and then you want to torque them to 65 foot-pounds. And that's it. Now you're ready to put the trans up there. Okay, so that's where we're at now.